All About Books has been on the air for 20 years and is one of the most popular shows provided by NET Radio. The show was created by Charles Stephen and Otis Young. Charles continues to host the program as a volunteer.
All I know for sure is that wherever I go in the city of Lincoln and sometimes elsewhere in Nebraska, people will recognize my voice. And maybe that's because I have a Boston accent. Having lived in Nebraska only about 50 years, I never quite lost my Boston accent. But it's a distinctive voice to some, it's distinctive because they have heard it on All About Books. I love doing the program. It keeps me reading. I would read all the time anyway, probably, but this keeps me actively reading. I try to vary the books I review or have my guest reviewers review because I know the audience out there, the listening audience, have varied tastes as well. I think the station got a letter at one point saying, facetiously saying, that for a couple of clergy, Otis Young and I are both members of the clergy, both ministers, they certainly do talk a lot about crime novels. And in fact, that's probably was accurate because we both enjoyed reading mysteries and all those years we both did that. Yeah. Well, I need to thank Otis Young, who was with me, began this program, and for nearly 20 years was a vital part of it. It was fun doing the program with Otis. Jeff Smith has been our coordinator, the engineer for this program, I think for all of the years we've been doing it. That's 20 years. And to those people who, in the station, at the station here, who first decided that might be something we should try, I really am very grateful for that, because they did.
Since 1946, the Lincoln Community Playhouse has continued to create value in our community. In 1980, the Lincoln Community Playhouse premiered its Family Theater, giving children and families together new theatrical opportunities and offering theater classes for kids.
When kids are in shows, whether it's a class, a theater arts academy, or a full production, they learn not only their lines and where they need to be and how to perform, but they learn to think about, why did the playwright choose these lines? What is my character's motivation? What, if they would have chosen different words here, how would that have changed the plot? It's a very sophisticated learning environment in many ways, and that has helped them in English, language arts, communications classes, really everywhere across the curriculum. So that's been a neat byproduct that I didn't even really anticipate.
They made me just more comfortable with doing things with other people I didn't necessarily know very well and doing things I wasn't necessarily sure of or confident in, but I mean just going out and being able to do them and try new things. I've definitely become better at meeting with people and speaking in front of people and just being a communicator and an entertainer, and that's helped in a lot of other aspects of my life in school, and like I'm on the forensics team at school, and it's definitely led to more skills in that.
It is the most incredible team environment. They learn if they have a large part, a small part, they are still all a part of the team. They are all equally important, and it is really valuable as far as leadership and communication and just self-confidence. And those are the things we need our kids to have in order to be successful.
I would say the Playhouse, one of the greatest things it does for kids and for adults, everyone, is that it teaches people the value of being given opportunities, that when you're in a play or anything, you realize that in almost any situation, if you're willing to work with the suggestions the director gives and work with what's going on, and if whatever the situation is, if you accept what's going on and embrace it, then you're going to have a better time and have a better final product. And if you do accept those opportunities you're given there, it'll lead to more opportunities within the Playhouse and in other aspects of life. And it teaches you that if you enjoy what you're doing and make the best of what's going on, you'll have a better time in life.
Most people don't know Jack Saltzman is an accomplished sculptor. He's usually recognized for his tireless efforts behind the scenes to create beautiful events benefiting the arts in Lincoln. In fact, tonight's decor was provided by Jack.
And I started very young collecting things, as I have a very favorite aunt who loved to collect and taught me how fun it is. And so I started doing that, and then I like to use the things that I collect, and so therefore with the parties and everything, you can use all the things and enjoy them and share the things that you have. It is so much fun and enjoyment, and you get a sense of worth from doing it. You meet very, very interesting people, and it brings your own creativity out. Many times I've worked with people who were helping with an event who thought that they weren't artistic, but by helping and dealing with other people, it brings out their own interest and their own abilities that they didn't realize that they had. And it also strengthens the artist's ability by letting him know that you have value to what they do. Well, just the joy of being involved with fine arts in Lincoln and other communities. Lincoln is blessed with people who really want to help and be with one another, and you really get to meet great, great people and artists by living in this community and helping support it. It can be really, really a life changer for someone, especially someone maybe who comes to town that doesn't know anybody. In a very short time, you can meet very, very many people that have your similar interest to you. Yes, Diana Warner and Doris Cook were instrumental. They had nominated me for this award, and I'm very grateful for it, and I really am honored to have this award, and I realize what a great award this is, having been to some of the events and helped with some of the events. And so I want to thank them because they are very supportive of the arts and supportive of me and everything that I do.
This year's outstanding public project is the Hamann Rose Garden at Antelope Park.
The integration of the artistic elements, the architectural elements, and then being able to play a little bit of the history of the garden into the design. So a lot of the details you see in the formal rose garden are hearkening back to kind of a craftsman era, kind of a more of an artistic style to that garden. And then the strolling garden was intended to be more contemporary, and so you see the rose motif used in both gardens. The rose motif that's used in the formal garden is kind of the Dard Hunter rose, more of the craftsman style rose, and then the rose motif that's used in the strolling garden is a much more contemporary, almost abstract looking rose.
I think one of the things that is unique about the Hamann Rose Garden and the strolling garden, or gardens that are successful, are the element of whimsy. I think we did a good job of incorporating some whimsy into the formal garden. Is sort of serious in terms of the layout with the boxwood and the placement of the roses, but then whimsy was added with the paving pattern, which is a series of arcs curving back and forth, and with the sculptural components. Edith Barreto Parsons, an artist, early century artist, had designed sort of these whimsical figures, Joy being the fountain, turtle baby, frog baby. And that is sort of the whimsy, I think, that comes in the garden. It's that it's not taken too serious. Well, it's serious about the plants, but there is that whimsical element. It's nice to be recognized for, I guess, for the amount of time and effort and involvement and the opportunity to work on a project like this. This is sometimes a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So we're grateful for all the people involved, including the Rose Society. We're grateful to the folks that helped raise the money, including our current mayor, who at the time was on the fundraising campaign. We want to thank the foundation and Christy Dionysopoulos for their support. And then clearly we want to thank the Lincoln Arts Council and all the folks involved with recognizing what was really a labor of love by those of us involved, and something we hope that has a legacy in the traditions of Herming House and Larry Enersen, for who the award has really been named, but giving back something to the community that will have a long-lasting presence.